Blonde and Craig David and Nothing Like This on Barnet Community Radio. And we are delighted to be joined by the Deputy Manager of the Fostering Recruitment Team at Barnet, Dave Tinney. Hello, Dave. Welcome to Barnet Community Radio.
Hello there. Glad to be here.
Thank you very much for coming in. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got involved with this, and a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a children and family social worker and have been for about 20 years. And I've always been interested in working with foster carers. For many years, I was a supervising social worker. So I was a social worker who supervised and helped and assisted foster carers.
Right.
And about in the past 8 or 10 years, I've become more interested in the recruitment and the retention and the assessment of foster carers. Basically, finding members of the public who would like to be looking after someone else's children.
Okay. In regards to that, if you had to sum up in a couple of words what makes a good foster carer, how would you do that?
I think someone who loves working with children. That's the most important thing. And they could come from a number of different backgrounds. They could have their own children. They could be single. They could have been a childminder. They could be older or younger, single, in a same-sex relationship, come from a number of different backgrounds. The most important element is you feel passionate about caring for children and children's outcomes.
I mean, tell us how children end up in the care system. And obviously, it's a huge, broad spectrum, but how would a child end up in the care system?
Sure. The paths into care are many. It's several strands to this. Usually it's some kind of family breakdown, family conflict. Another source into care also, it's mental health issues from the birth parents or drug or alcohol problems. Mm-hmm. And Barnet tries very hard to keep children in families for as long as possible. But sometimes we know that's not going to work out and it's not possible, so we look for what we call substitute families, who are foster carers. And sometimes the placements are short, only a few days, or it sometimes might go on until a young person reaches independence, until they're 18.
And does the foster carer have a choice of the age range of child that they take into care, or is it purely simply a case of once you're a foster carer, you're placed with a child that you're given rather than a child that is suitable for you?
Sure. We like carers to have an open mind, to be able to look after a number of ages of different kinds of children, varieties of children. But we know what your area of interest is. Some people will be approved for, let's say, not to 18, but they know that their real interest is 11 to 14. Right. But we'd ask people to keep an open mind, to consider younger children and older children. And we have a real need in Barnet to find people who have the skills and abilities to care for slightly older children. That's where the real shortage is.
Okay, cool. And what would the stage of process... Okay, I'm thinking about becoming a foster carer. How do I go about it? What's the very first stage to get involved in becoming a foster carer? How would that happen?
Well, first of all, you contact us.
And how would we do that?
You call us on our phone number.
Which is, and we'll make sure we give this out regularly. If you've got it now. Otherwise, we can... okay, we'll come back to that in a second.
Okay, sure.
Okay, yep. So
you
we'll call
us
you first.
And speak to one of my colleagues, and we ask you a few questions. And the most important question is, do you have a spare bedroom?
Okay.
And spare bedrooms can pop up for a number of reasons. It could be a person has their their own children have left, gone to university or moved out, or they've done some house clearance, and voila, they have a spare bedroom. That's the most important thing. And also, if they have the time to commit to a young person. We have some carers who are at home in the daytime, some carers who work part-time, some who work full-time. But young people do need some care in the daytime, and also there are meetings to attend in the daytime. Mm-hmm. So with people who do work, we ask them to work flexibly. And we ask a number of questions about your interests and your background, and that will lead on to an initial visit, which will go out to your house and we'll meet with you, ask you a number of questions about your interest in fostering, and what you'd like to do, and what kind of foster care you'd like to be. And you give us a quick tour of your house, and then we go back to the office, and the managers discuss this, and then we will either find out whether or not this is going to work for you, and if it does, we'll move you on to what we call an assessment. And the assessment process usually takes about 3 months. It shouldn't take longer than that. And there are 2 stages of the assessment. The first stage is basic demographic information. We find about you, where you live, your children, pets, your house, your neighborhood, your community, to find out what you're able to give a young person. Right. That is relatively quick. The second bit is more intense, where we ask about your family of origin, where you come from, your job, your family, your culture, what you think you've done well as a parent, what you think your parents could have done better in parenting you. And it's quite in depth. And we do that for several reasons. One reason is for basic reasons of child protection, because you're looking after very, very vulnerable Barnet children in your home. And also, we do it because we want to make sure we get the match right between your skills, interests, and passions and the needs of a young person. And after the assessment is done, after about 10 visits, should be weekly, you come to our fostering panel in Barnet, and then you're approved as a foster care, and then you can be a foster care for, hopefully, the rest of your working career, as long as you want to be.
That's brilliant. So you say it takes approximately, from the time you apply, you were talking about 10 weeks?
From the time of the initial inquiry to when you call us to your appearance before a panel, about 4 months.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. And once you become a foster carer, what level of support do you get from Barnet after that? I mean, because we've heard from a couple of people that say that fostering shouldn't be looked at as a hobbyist thing, because it's not a hobbyist thing. It's something that takes over your life. It's like taking on a new child, and it's, to all intents and purposes, it's a career as well as a lifestyle change.
Fostering is definitely a career, and a demanding career, and a very extremely rewarding career. But unlike many careers, it's quite emotional. You're looking after young people who have lived through abuse, and you're helping them put their lives back together. And also, you're doing it in your home. So it's unlike any career people have ever had. And we treat you as a professional. And as such, you are trained as a professional with ongoing support groups and training sessions around a number of issues. You also receive 24-hour support. And you also receive your own social worker, someone you can call if you're just to say, am I doing this right? And also who can give you professional guidance. Also, you'll come in contact with a number of other foster carers who live in Barnet, who you can befriend, who they can act as babysitters for you. You can act as babysitters for them. So you join a Barnet community, a family of other foster carers who are all doing the same thing. And they become sort of your colleagues in the fostering task, as it were.
Okay, David, thanks so much for coming in. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Indeed.
We've got the telephone number now, which is 0208 359 6274. That's the telephone number if you're interested in becoming a foster carer. Get in touch with that number first, like David said, 0208 359 6274. We'll make sure that's on the website. And talking of websites, how can they get in touch with you online?
Well, you can get in touch with us on the Barnet website by just entering fostering, and you'll find out more about us and all the contact details. And also, if you're interested more about Barnet fostering, please have a look at our page on Facebook and give us a like if you can as well. And that also outlines upcoming activities and kind of what foster carers are doing and upcoming programs we have. And also, we have a YouTube channel which shows foster carers talking about fostering and what they get out of it, which is a nice thing to look at in the evening. So please have a look at all three things if you can.
Absolutely. We'll put a link on our Facebook account to your website, so hopefully people can come through that. Give them a like, because it's really important to get some likes. And once again, David, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
That's David Tinney. He's the Deputy Manager at Barnet's Fostering Recruitment Team. This is Radio, and you're listening to interviews from us, focusing on the UK's Fostering Fortnight Awareness Campaign. That was Dave Tinney. Tomorrow we'll be speaking to Denzel Bryce, who is the Team Manager at Barnet's Care Leavers Team. And we'll also be speaking to a young man who's been through the care system. That's going to be absolutely brilliant. So don't forget, join us tomorrow from 8 o'clock. In the meantime, continue with the music. Here's the sound of Justin Bieber, and this one's called What Do You Mean?